We're making ramen chashu but with chicken. G'day guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Sam Kitchen, where I bring to you budget-friendly recipes with sustainability in mind. Happy New Year! I hope all of you had a really good break over Christmas and New Year. It is 2023 and we are back in this swing of things. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're an old friend, welcome back and thank you for sticking around. So there's no backstory to today's recipe except for the fact that I got some really cheap bones, and then in December, I made some tonkotsu broth that took me about a couple of days to make this really thick and creamy broth. I've been enjoying ramen so much, but at the same time, it's missing some element, which is why I wanted to make today's video. Instead of buying pork belly, which is at the moment I think about $16 to $20 a kilo, but I've already got some chicken thigh in the freezer, and in general chicken thighs are so much cheaper. They're about $3, $4 to about $5, $6 a kilo. So it's a bit of an experiment for myself trying to turn chicken thigh into chashu. It's going to be fun, it's going to be a wild ride, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. Before we get into the recipe, if you like food, if you enjoy budget cooking, if you like what I do here, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm really keen to help more people to jump on this budget cooking bandwagon and just be more responsible to our planet in general. Alright, that is a lot of talking from me, and let's get cooking. Found an old apron I had back in the day, so I thought I'd use it as our PPE today when dealing with chicken. First thing first, we got our chicken drumsticks I mentioned earlier. These dark meats are much cheaper, more flavorful, and more resilient when cooking, so I recommend these over breast any days. Next, some soy sauce is our main seasoning ingredient, some sugar, aromatics wise, some onion and garlic. Additionally, you can add in some gingers or spring onions. My cooking philosophy is to cook with what we have and just make the most out of everything. So sticking to these two here because I have them at home. These are the main ingredients we'll be using here. Please do ignore the chia seeds I have on the side here. I didn't end up experimenting with them, so we'll save it for next time. Maybe. First step is to debone our chicken drumsticks. I opted for a small paring knife for ease of handling. The blade is about the same size as our drumsticks, which is more than enough to get the flesh off the bone. Be sure to work with a sharp knife where possible, especially when working with meat. It'll make the cuts a lot cleaner and effortless. Here, I have 5 drumsticks weighing about 1.2 kilos with bones. Grab one out and we'll get to the fun part. The key is to find the gaps between the different muscles and just work the knife through with the tissues. Let the knife do the work and don't force it. A sharp knife will just glide through the muscle gaps and make the job very easy. There's not a whole lot of meat near chicken knees, so best to just make a through cut around it for a clean cut. Work the knife towards the bone and almost just be scraping the meat off. Deboning is really not that scary. Cut around the bone and the meat will come off pretty easily. And just like that, our thigh is off the bone. The bone is really good for chicken stock, so definitely don't throw them out. Go from the other angle and we'll do it again. Start off by cutting around the knee this time and go down to the bone. Flip the thigh and go from the meaty part we want to cut through the tissue to separate the muscles. Work the knife towards the bone and we slowly peel away the muscle from the bone. Cut around the bone and waste as little as possible. The cartilage around the hip area needs some firm cuts to separate the meat off the bone. And that is how you debone chicken drumsticks. Now we've got our deboned chicken drumsticks all prepped out. Next, we want to separate the skin by cutting them off. We want to savor the skin and crisp it up later to maximize the flavor. Pull the skin away from the flesh and gently work the knife through the tissue part to separate skin from the meat. Once again showing the importance of working with a sharp knife. Jigsawing your way through delicate parts like this with a really dull knife is a recipe for disaster. Once the skin is off, gather them in a bowl for later use. So the cut of drumsticks are quite inconsistent when it comes to thickness. Thinner parts generally cook faster than thicker parts, so we want to add in this extra step to get better consistency. I grabbed the silicone bag that was holding the chicken earlier, but any reusable bag should do just fine. I lay out 2 pieces side by side and use a rolling pin to smash it moderately to spread out the meat and break down the muscle fiber ever so gently. Here's maybe editor Sam will add in some seedy meat beating jokes.
What are you doing, step chicken?
Repeat the process until all drumsticks are smashed appropriately. Oh yeah, the chicken bones I mentioned earlier, since my tonkotsu broth is already cooked up, best to just put them in the fridge for now and save them for the next soup. Now all of the meat have got a good beating. We lightly season them with salt and a touch of sugar for good measure. Rub it all in to get the meat all seasoned through. Next step, we need to shape our chicken. I grabbed a piece of plastic wrap I got and put away from grocery run, and cut up a piece about 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. And then I lay out all the chicken skin into a rectangle, wide enough for us to lay 2 pieces of chicken. This will form the outer skin of our chashu to take on char and mayo reaction. Next, we want to spread out the chicken meat side by side to cover the skin. And then another 2 pieces just below the pieces we laid out. Now we should have a longish sheet of chicken drumstick with half of it underlaid with chicken skin. We now roll the flesh part towards the top. As we get close to the skin part, we make sure that we pull the skin up as we go, so the entire cylinder is covered with as much chicken skin as possible on the outside. Once it's rolled into a rough cylinder shape, we now pull the plastic wrap and roll it into a chicken log. Grab the 2 ends of the plastic wrap and roll it away from you to tighten it up. In the end, we should have a very fat looking chicken sausage like what you can see here. To make it easier to work with, next we put the whole thing in the freezer for about an hour to firm the chicken up. After about an hour, you can see that the chicken log is holding its shape and a lot firmer. If it's still very soft to touch, put it back in the freezer for a bit longer. Unwrap the chicken and take the meat out. Next, butcher's twine. Cut out about 1.5 meter worth of butcher's twine or any cotton food safe string you have at home. The trick here is you'd rather have too much than having to cut up more while your fingers are covered in chicken juice later on. Get the chicken on the chopping board. First, wrap the chicken around and do a double knot on one end to start with. We want to make sure the first knot here is tight and holding the chicken in shape. Next, we want to make a loop with the long end of the twine and go under the chicken to tie it up. With the crossover of the string on top here, adjust the tightness of the string to make sure that our chashu will have equal thickness throughout. Repeat the process, make a loop and adjust the tightness as we go. Once we get to the end of the meat, we want to use the remaining string to wrap around the chicken the long way to secure the shape further. Tie it up and there you go, it's really not that hard. Now we put the chicken in the fridge while we prep the rest of the ingredients. Get a saucepan and we want to put together our chashu seasoning. Here we want 1 part sugar, 2 parts soy sauce and 4 parts water. So I got 200 grams of soy sauce, 100 grams of sugar and then 400 grams of water. While we're here at the workbench, I also cut up an onion and a couple of cloves of garlic I forgot to film. Now it's finally time to cook it all up. A wide base pan on low heat. We want a good amount of oil to coat the bottom of the pan. Once the pan is up to temperature, chicken in, skin side down. Leave it for a few minutes and flip over once the skin is golden brown. Just look at the mayo reaction here. Turn the chicken a few times until all of the exterior is brown to maximize the flavor. Next, pour in our chashu sauce we made earlier. Not necessary, but you can base it for funsies if you like. I do it just so I look like I know what I'm doing in the kitchen. At this point, the chicken already looks so good and it's a look of beautiful chashu, I tell you. Throw in the cut up onion and garlic into the liquid for aromatics and complexity. Turn the chicken over and you can see it's picking up some gorgeous color. Put a lid on and we want to cook it at low for at least 45 minutes to an hour. Flip it periodically so it's seasoned evenly. I cooked mine for about an hour and you can see that the sauce is reduced to about half. Take the chashu out into a container and we want to rest it with the remaining chashu sauce until it's cold, ideally overnight. I know it's a big no-no to put hot food in the fridge, but for video purposes I had no other options. I'll go to my naughty corner. The purpose of cooling the chashu down, number 1, the flavor will settle in a lot better, and number 2, the meat holds its shape so much better and is less inclined to fall apart when being cut. Grab the meat out and take off the butcher's twine. Finally, the moment of truth. Slicing our chashu open, the outside has picked up a good amount of color and the inside of the meat is still nice and moist. Chicken breast would have gone bone dry going through the same process. The color is spot on and I couldn't be happier with the outcome. To serve up, I put a pan on high heat just to chop a few slices of chashu to give some good color. Soup in, ramen in, and then the chashu we just made. Some bamboo shoots and 2 half pieces of marinated soft boiled eggs, one of my favorites. Check these chashu out. The cost breakdown is as below. 1.2 kilos of drumsticks at $5 a kilo equals to $6. 200 grams of soy sauce at $3.80 a kilo equals to 76 cents. 1 onion is about 10 cents. 2 cloves of garlic say 5 cents. 100 grams of sugar at $1.10 a kilo equals to 11 cents. Altogether, it costs us about $7.02 to make and serves about 5 bowls of ramen. Alright, and there we have it. That is our chashu done. It's not just chashu, but I made the whole ramen, but going to focus on the chashu and then just let you know how it tastes like. It's not as fatty as pork belly, but I'm glad it kind of holds its shape quite alright. A bit of a shame that I didn't have enough chicken thigh to try the chia method that I was thinking. Maybe that would have held everything all together a lot better, but the flavor is there, the texture is there, and it's a lot cheaper than using pork belly. No complaint whatsoever here. In terms of effort, there were a few steps that was required, including semi-freezing the chicken so it holds its shape, and then the butcher's twine, tying things up. It was really fun to make and I learned a lot throughout the process. I hope you give it a try. This is a great alternative compared to spending $20 a kilo on pork belly. I'm going to get back to my dinner. I hope you learned something. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I have a new video coming out every 2 weeks. Thank you so much and I will see you in the next video.